Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Shikhi. So we welcome everyone to our Sunday program. And we want to take this opportunity to welcome any guests coming for the first time. Anybody here for the first time? Look at your name. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Natikodi Vaishnava Ki Jai. Praying Sekaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Prabhupada Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopina Shamakhi Madhavan Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Sabhaveda Bhaktivedanta Ki Jai. Thakur Premanandi. All glory to the Son of the Devotees. All glory to the Son of the Devotees. All glory to the Son of the Devotees. All glory to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Narayana Namaskritya. Dharam Chaivam Narottamam. Devim Saraswatim Vyasam. Ito Jayamudirayet. Namastapareshu Avareshu. Bhagavati Tamasam. Nice one. Start it again. Bhakti Bhavati. Okay. Bhakti. I've got 65. My brain forgets. You have to excuse me. I've been chanting those verses 1975. Let's go to the last one. Remember that one. Shrinvata Swagata Krishna. Punya Shravana Kirtanam. Priyanstoi Bhadrani. Idunoti Savitsitam. So, again, we are on the, somewhat of the adivas, you could say, of the appearance of Shri Krishna Bhagavan Ki in his great general, Srila Prabhupada Ki. And this year Krishna is very kind to us. We begin this celebration on a Friday. Makes it easy. Wednesday is difficult. You have to really perform the usher. Because then the next day you have to come back for Prabhupada, right? But you have to work. You can take a day off. So we get Friday, midnight, Saturday, Prabhupada, and then Sunday feast. So you have 3 days. Back to back, solid Krishna consciousness. So it's a special year. So I was asked to talk about something to get us in that mood for this coming holiday. And we want to talk about Krishna and his appearance. That can go on for a year, right? What is 45 minutes? And Srila Prabhupada saying 2 or 3 years we can talk about it. So I want to try to mix these together. It's very important. We've seen the relation. When we come to Krishna consciousness, it says in the Gita, 4 kinds of people surrender to me, right? Ones are in distress, seekers of money, some are inquisitive, and then those who are in knowledge. So the knowledge platform is the platform we want to come to. What is that knowledge? That I am Nitya Krishna Das, I am the eternal servant of Krishna. We are servants, it's a fact. We, by illusion, Maya, or false ego, we think, oh, I am not servant. I am actually the enjoyer. Even my body, I think I am the master of this body. But the body is dictated to us all the time, isn't it? If we're honest, we'll see that. So, that service is actually, service propensity is meant for Krishna. That is the perfection. But those of us who've fallen into this material world, for whatever reason, even Lord Chaitanya prayed like that, that somehow or other I've fallen into this material world. You save me. So they get saved and pulled from that. Therefore, Lord Krishna descends. And Krishna is actually very esoteric. If you follow the Vedas, there's not much mention of Krishna. I don't think there's any mention. It's all Vishnu, Narayan. Because in the material world, people we can identify with what I need for my happiness. How can I get relief from distress? A little more intelligent. What can I do about death? I don't want to be dying, old age, disease, all these things. So, understanding that ultimately this world must come from someplace, and the intelligent person and fortunate person will understand that this is all coming from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So just like we're all residing here in America, maybe we're in India, so many different governments. So if you want to be happy and prosper, what do you have to do? You have to follow those rules and regulations of the government. If you're in India, you keep to one side of the road. America, different side of the road. You can't say, I'm Indian, I'll drive this way. No, you go to jail. So you have to learn everything properly, and then your life can be nice. So that's one level of happiness. So understanding God is great. God is good. This is Christian sentiments. Let us take him forward. India, at least we understand that demigods are providers and things. So that's very nice. But above that is understanding that personality and being associated with that personality. Imagine if you are intimate associate of the president. Isn't that very nice? All the other things are included. Right? You are the daughter of President Obama. Does she have any problems? Everybody, everywhere she goes, she's welcome. Oh yeah, come work for our company. Oh please, you can stay here. Even if she's driving a little fast, that's okay. You can, just don't do it next time. More than that is the intimate association with him. So this is the life. To have those intimate association with, imagine, that from which everything comes. You get to become his personal friend. So this is Krishna. So once in a day of Brahma, he comes to attract us and give this opportunities for this intimate association, this Goloka Premadan. How long is a day of Brahma? Let's say it's 12 hours. Who knows? It's billions of years. Billions of years. There's a millennium called the 4 Yuga cycles. Satya, Treta, Dorpa, Kali. Altogether, they come to 4,320,000 years. And within 12 hours of Brahma's day, 1,000 of those millennia occur. So 1,000 times 4 million. That's how often he comes. And that was only 5,000 years ago for us. How fortunate we are. Right? How fortunate. You can't calculate the fortune of everyone in this room. Don't take them as ordinary persons. You know, oh, look at this one, look at that one, and judging that way. Not one. Of all the unlimited living entities in this universe, we are in a fortunate position to participate and to hear and taste these wonderful pastimes of Krishna. So how is that fortune coming? By the mercy of his devotee. Srila Prabhupada ki. Especially us in the West, what did I know of Krishna? Nothing. I didn't even know what is vegetarian. This was 1971. What is don't eat meat? I was shocked. Now it's commonplace, but back then, what? How can you live if you don't eat meat? He's in India, a little pious. Still many, it's a fact, right? Ah, Krishna, Ram, yeah, Krishna, Ram. As soon as you read Prabhupada's Gita, you go, oh yes, Krishna, now I understand. You have to receive it from that devotee. So you have to taste it. So, and actually that is where the love for Krishna can be experienced. Prabhupada discussed this at one point. He mentions how if one wants to know the absolute truth, it is not understood by a ascending process. You know, like you go to university and you learn so many things, right? That's it, I got it. No, this is the matter of the heart. Is there any book that can teach you how to make someone love you? There's many books that talk about that subject, right? So many cultures that deal with that. But in the end, how does it happen? Very private affair. It just happens. You see people, you think, how are those two people together, you know? Why should they be together? They seem so opposite or something. So this is a matter of heart. So it says, one cannot therefore approach the Supreme Person of God as Sri Krishna directly. I want to go to Krishna directly. Can you go to the President of the United States directly? I'm a good citizen. I demand to see the President. I'll put you in jail one day. Where's your appointment? Do you have this? So how do you get to see the President? It's almost impossible. If you give $1 million donation, you get 1 minute. Come take a picture. Thank you very much. Okay, go. But in the President's house, he has wife, he has daughter, he has servants, doesn't he? You can meet those servants very easy, right? You become their friend, they go, come on, take you in the back door. That's how it happens. So similarly, the pure devotee, Prabhupada, the spiritual master, is like that. He's engaged in Krishna service through the service of his spiritual master. Evam param praptam, eman raja sayovindu. In this way, and we serve him, then the spiritual world opens up to us. It opened up to us. So in this Adi Purana, actually, it's stated that it says, Lord Krishna says, one who says he's actually my devotee, he's not actually my devotee. But one who's a devotee of my devotee, oh, he's my devotee. But Krishna is so sweet, even if you just approach him directly, I don't want anybody in between me and you. It's still very nice, isn't it? But if you want to enter deeper into that, then we have to develop that loving service mood. And we have to change our mentality. It's not in material conception, love and service is in relation to me. Isn't it? I don't like, those are reasons. The spiritual matters are opposite of that. Nadanam najanam nasundarim kavitas bhajavya shakamaye. Mama jamani jamani shore bhavata bhakti oitakitvi. I don't want anything. I don't even want liberation. I just want your service. So that can be experienced and learned as we engage in Krishna's service through his representatives. So I thought what I'd do is, in this mood, I know we all like to hear Krishna pastimes. Very sweet, aren't they? So at the same time, I want to give us some Prabhupada pastime too. As we know, Srila Prabhupada, an extraordinary person, even on the material platform. His entire life, he's trying to fulfill the order of his Guru Maharaj, Bhaktisiddhanta, Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. And by the age of 70, he came to America. And by the age of 82, he left this planet, physically left. And in between that time, he translated and wrote purports to Srimad Bhagavatam. He almost completed 18,000 verses. He did 700 verses of the Gita with commentaries, 17 volumes of Chaitanya Charitamrita, 2,127 pages, 11,000 verses. Wrote many books, 7,000 personal letters to disciples. He had so many lectures, there's 11 volumes of books down here, you see all his lectures. Anyway, extraordinary effort by somebody who was 70 years old. We have to follow that example of tasting Krishna. This is the point I'm trying to make. Pastimes are nice, it's not just pastimes. If you really want to experience the higher levels of Krishna consciousness, then you follow the example of the Acharya and see what did he do, how did he live. That's what we follow. And then in that way we can taste this higher nectar of Krishna consciousness, not just on the third level. I wanted to show one picture here because I'm going to read the last 3 verses that Prabhupada translated and commented on in the Bhagavatam. His mission was to complete this Bhagavatam. Part of his mission. And he was so determined to do this. Let me see if it works here. Is he here? He's leaving his body. And still he's translating. How many people you know keep working up to the time of death? Usually we're crying, right? Oh, Krishna, please give me more time. Give me my relatives. I need to. This is transcendental ecstasy. Mamcha yoga vicharina, bhakti yogena sevate, sadhuna samatityayitam, brahma voya kalpate. Krishna says, Mamcha unto me, vyabhicharina, with great determination. What do? Bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga sevate. You render the service of bhakti yoga. And when you do that, what happens? Sadhuna samatityayitam. You rise above the modes of material nature. Because that's what we're doing now. We're fighting the modes of material nature that are causing us so much suffering. IT boating, IT diving, IT atmic, so many things, right? We're trying to make so many material adjustments. When I get this fixed, then I'll serve you, Krishna. But right now, I have to fix this problem. No. Bhakti yoga, then what happens when you come to that platform? Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. Now you're on the platform of Brahman. That Brahman platform is extreme happiness. No impediments. Nothing can block you or stop you. Like external eyes, it looks like suffering. But he's in the highest bliss. He's determined that before at every breath, let me finish this order for my Guru Maharaj. I finished in Bhagavatam. So, we'll read the last 3 verses that Prabhupada was doing. He came to the 10th canto of the Bhagavatam. He had earlier did the 10th canto in a summary. He called it Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in 3 volumes where he commented without the Sanskrit in a story form. Because he didn't think he was going to live this long, actually. So he said, let me give this now. And then he began the 10th canto, and he was in the 13th chapter, which is the stealing of the cows by Lord Brahma. How many people know that pastime? Where Lord Brahma steals the cows and calves. Very nice, isn't it? Very instructional, very sweet. You know. The scene of that pastime that leads up to that is Kali Yuga has not come, but it is Dwapara Yuga near the end. So the mode of ignorance is becoming more prominent. So the demoniac forces are having more power, and they're overburdening the earth. So Bhumi, who is Mother Bhumi, who is the earth personality, she went to Lord Brahma. Said, you got to do something. This is too much. This whole earth is overburdened with these evil forces. Do something. And he thought, well, what can I do? Let us go to Vishnu. So they go to Swetadvip, where the ocean of milk resides, and where Vishnu is there. This is Shira Daksha Vishnu. Here, right? But nobody can approach. They have to stand on the shore of that milk ocean. You can bring a chair for him if you need a chair. Is it okay? And they begin to pray, oh Vishnu, please, do something, come. And only Brahma, he hears, oh yes, I'm coming. Now all you demigods take birth down in this planet, on the earth planet, and I will descend. So everybody is satisfied and they go away. So we know the Krishna Janma, how he appeared, a long story. Every moment is nectar, isn't it? All this pastimes. Very fascinating. What's fascinating to me especially is Vasudeva and Devaki, they, in their previous birth, they performed yoga. I think it was like 60,000 years. Can you sit for 60 minutes without moving? Yeah, 60,000 years. Great austerity. So Vishnu appeared in front of them. What do you want? Oh, we want a son like you. And there's no son like me. I'll become your son. So their next birth, Vasudeva Devaki. And he appeared in front of them. And then what did he tell them? Take me to Vrindavan. All that austerity, and you leave me? That's what I was saying. Wait a minute. I did 60,000 years of yoga. You need to stay a little longer. No, take me to Vrindavan. And then put yourself back in prison too. That's very, understand that mood of service. But their parental mood, but it's more on reverence. That's why. So they know he's Vishnu. Oh. Yes, Supreme Personality of Godhead, as you order. This is Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha's like that. Whatever you say, you're the master, right? Just like at work. You argue with the boss? No. Whatever you tell you, yes, sir, thank you so much, sir. Thank you, you're so kind. So Vishnu love. That servitorship's like that. Oh yes, whatever you say. But at one point, of course, Devaki, the parental instincts overtook, and she saw, he's Vishnu. She's like, oh my God, Kamsa might kill you. Please, please hide. So he became a baby. He went to his baby form. And he's okay, now you take me to Vrindavan. So they took everything back. Anyway, many years passed on. He grew up. And when Aghasura, very big demon, how many people know Aghasura pastime? You have to read Krishna book. You people aren't reading Krishna book. He was a snake, 8 miles long. Can you imagine? If you see one little snake, what do? Everybody's running. Imagine 8 mile long snake. And you just, I'll kill myself. 8 miles long. Even Krishna, he saw it, he was shocked. Oh my God, look at the power of my material energy. So anyway, Krishna finished them off. And the cowherd boys, they know Krishna. Whatever. We don't have to worry about it. How children are. I don't know what it's like when I was a child, we were very adventurous. I broke my arm, I did so many things because we were always doing so many risky things. We climb trees, we fall out the tree, riding bicycles down mountains, break your arm, so many crazy things. I'm surprised I'm still alive. I should be dead. So these cowherd boys are like that too. Hey, there's a snake, come on, let's go inside. No worry, Krishna's there, we don't have to worry about anything. He protects us. He protects us. So the snake's been killed. They say, okay, let's go have some lunch. Come on. Come on. So they go off to have their lunch because it's noontime. They're taking care of the calves. So they sit down to have their lunch. And somehow or another, the calves, they wander off. So the cowherd boys are trying to eat their lunch, but the calves are gone. Because I don't know where you stay here, I go take care of it. He's Supreme Person of Godhead. And he's going to get the cows while they eat. Huh? That's not Narayan worship, is it? No, that's not Narayan. So he runs off to get the cows, and he comes back. What happened? The cowherd boys are gone. They're gone. What? He's the Supreme Person of God. He knows what happened. What happened is Lord Brahma, he was observing these pastimes because he knew Krishna was descending. And he could tell, this little boy, this is Krishna, this is God. He's bewildered. Watching him. Because when Krishna's a boy, he's a perfect boy. He's not God. He looks like a boy. You cannot tell he's God. That's how perfect he does it. But he knows he's God, but he's a boy. Wait a minute, what's going on here? He's bewildered a little bit. So he thought, well, let me do a test. I have to know, is he really God? So he stole those cowherd boys. And then he stole the cows. So Krishna knew. He goes, okay, Brahma wants to play, huh? He thinks he is so great. He is Brahma, great yogi. He makes all these things with mystic power, right? So what did Krishna do? He manifests all those cowherd boys and cows. Exactly. For 1 year, he does this. When they go home, the mothers now, because the mothers become more attached. Actually, everyone's attached to Krishna in Vrindavan. Everyone. But Krishna goes home to Mother Yashoda. But suddenly they're thinking, I would like to have Krishna in my home as my child for a little while too. But how can they do that? He is the son of Mother Yashoda. You're going to kidnap him? Kidnap Krishna and keep him as my baby? No, you can't do that. So simultaneously, Krishna arranges. He comes as their son. They don't know it's Krishna. And for 1 year, they're feeding them, they're taking care of them. Even the cows also. The calves are Krishna. They are taking care of Krishna maternally. And they became so intense that within 1 year, one time while they're taking the calves out, because the young boys would take care of the calves and the men would take care of the cows. And just by chance, the cows were up high up on the hill, and the calves were down below with the boys playing. And when those cows saw those calves, they just took off running down the hill. And the cowherdsmen knew it was going to happen. If those cows get to the bottom of the hill, those calves are going to drink all the milk. We need that milk. So stop them, right? You see cowherdsmen are very expert. When you go to India, you can still see cowherdsmen. It's amazing. They have 100 cows with one stick. Isn't it? Imagine one cow could kill 100 people. Isn't it? He's wow, wow. What are you going to do? Can you stop him? No. But you have one stick, and he's, oh my God. If you know how to use that stick, you control 100 cows. Easy. So they're trying to stop them, they can't stop them. And Balaram was watching this. He goes, what the heck's going on? What? These cowherdsmen, they're expert. Finally, they meet with the cows, and the cows begin to drink all the milk. And Balaram's like, what the? Then he realizes, oh, they're Krishna. He didn't even know. That's how expert Krishna is. He didn't even know. And then Brahma, Lord Brahma, actually he just went away for 1 moment. As we mentioned earlier, Brahma's 12 hours is 1 billion years. Right? It's 12 hours. So a moment is like, you know, like 1 year. You just like turn his head for a minute, as 1 year has passed. Blink one eye, a minute is gone. 1 year is gone. So he took the calves. What? I thought I just took those calves. What are they doing down there? What? He's getting bored. I know. He went back to check in the mountain. What? Then Krishna, he showed them. They all had Vishnu forms. Oh my goodness, what did I do? What did I do? Because he's in the mood of awe and reverence. I've offended the boss. When I used to work at AT&T, I remember me and this other person, we were in charge of the IT part. So there's a boss a couple levels up, very big boss. Somehow or another, they were really good friends. I never would be friendly with that guy, because if you get too friendly, you can offend them, and you may get fired, right? But he's always joking, so he put some joke thing on his computer. When he turned his computer on, it popped up. I'll never forget, he was very, so he called him in the room, and he's a Southern person. I don't know if you know the Southern accents, right? He goes, son, you better learn to recognize. Meaning, don't joke with me, we can play, but don't take it this far. You better get that off my computer now. And he always, oh yes sir, then he realized he's the boss, I don't do this. So Lord Brahma, similarly, and that's where these prayers of Lord Brahma are beginning. So these last 3 verses we'll read, and this is Prabhupada commenting on this, leading up to Lord Brahma's prayer. So these are the last 3 purports of Prabhupada giving us his ecstasy, as we saw here in that picture. And he's in Vrindavan, in the Krishna Balaram temple. Time is short, so I'm not going to struggle with this Sanskrit. I'll read the translation and purport. So this is verse 61. Then Lord Brahma saw the absolute truth, who is one without a second. Meaning there's not 2 absolute truths. And who possesses full knowledge, and who is unlimited. Assuming the role of a child in a family of coward men, standing alone, just as before, with a morsel of food in his hand, searching everywhere for the calves and his coward friends. Think about that. That from which everything comes. Just imagine this earth planet. Can you calculate his breath? It's a phenomenon, isn't it? that person who created all of this, he is a child of coward men. Who wants to be a coward? When I grow up, I want to take care of cows. No, nobody aspires. That's not a very high position, is it? You've seen Indians all barefoot, gumshoe on with a stick. So he's living with people like that. That's who he's living with. Very humble position. And he's just like a little child. That's people like that Balagopal, isn't it? There's all the Gujaratis, like Balagopal. He's the Balag in the hand. He's standing like a little child. And where's my cows? Where's my cows? What happened to them? So Prabhupada says here, the word Agada Bodham. Now Prabhupada is sitting like we see in that picture, and he's translating these words right here. The word Agada Bodham, meaning full of unlimited knowledge, is significant in this verse. The Lord's knowledge is unlimited, and therefore one cannot touch it where it ends, just as one cannot measure the ocean. And Prabhupada is whispering this because he has no strength. You can hear the audio, it's very legible. He just barely can speak. But yet, full of meaning, nothing else. What is the extent of our intelligence in comparison to the vast expanses of water in the ocean? On my passage to America, Prabhupada departed for America about 4 days ago. We honor that Parents' Day. Srila Prabhupada Ki. On my passage to America, how insignificant this ship was, like a matchbox in the midst of the ocean. You take one little box of matches and throw in the ocean. Can you find it? No, who cares for it? Krishna's intelligence resembles the ocean, for one cannot imagine how vast it is. The best course, therefore, is to surrender to Krishna. Don't try to measure Krishna. The word Abhayam, meaning one without a second, is also significant because Brahma was overcast by Krishna's Maya. He was thinking himself the supreme, as Brahma is the first living entity in this universe, and he creates all these things. In the material world, everyone thinks, I am the best man in the world. I know everything. One thinks, why should I read Bhagavad Gita? I know everything. I have my own interpretation. Brahma, however, was able to understand the Supreme Personality is Krishna. Ishvara Parama Krishna. Another of Krishna's names, therefore, is Parameshvara. Now, Brahma saw Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, appearing as a cowherd boy in Vrindavan, not demonstrating his opulence, but standing like an innocent boy with some food in his hand, loitering with his cowherd boyfriends, calves and cows. Brahma did not see Krishna as Chaturabhuja, the opulent Narayana. What is Narayana? Forearm, club, conch, all these things that are very majestic. Actually very beautiful too. He's very beautiful. Rather, he simply saw an innocent boy. Nonetheless, he could understand that although Krishna was not demonstrating his power, he was the same Supreme Person. People generally do not appreciate someone unless he shows something wonderful. But here, although Krishna did not manifest anything wonderful, Brahma could understand that that same wonderful person was present like an ordinary child. Because Brahma was a devotee, so he could sense it. But Krishna's not showing it, so he's bewildered. Thus Brahma prayed, Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. You are the original person, the cause of everything. I bow down to you. This was his realization. Tamaham Bhajami. This is what is wanted. Vedeshu Durlabham. One cannot reach Krishna merely by Vedic knowledge. Adurlabham, Atma Bhakta. But when one becomes a devotee, then one can realize it. Brahma, therefore, became a devotee. In the beginning, he was proud of being Brahma, the Lord of the universe. But now he understood Here is the Lord of the universe. I am simply an insignificant agent. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Krishna was playing like a dramatic actor because Brahma had some false prestige, thinking that he had some power. Krishna showed him his real position. A similar incident occurred when Brahma went to see Krishna in Dwarka. When Krishna's doorman informed Lord Krishna that Lord Brahma had arrived, Krishna responded, "Which Brahma?" You all know that pastime? Okay, well, let Prabhupada tell you. Which Brahma? Ask him which Brahma. So the doorman relayed this question. Brahma was astonished. There's another Brahma besides me? He thought. So when the doorman informed Lord Krishna, it is the four-headed Brahma. Lord Krishna said, "Oh, four-headed Brahma. Okay, call the others." Because there's unlimited universes. So in some universes they have 10 heads, 20, a million heads. So this is Krishna's position. For Krishna, the four-headed Brahma is insignificant, to say nothing of four-headed scientists. Materialistic scientists think that although this planet Earth is full of opulence, all others are vacant, because they simply speculate. This is their scientific conclusion. But from the Bhagavatam, we understand that the entire universe is full of living entities everywhere. Thus, it is the folly of the scientists that although they do not know anything, they mislead people by presenting themselves as scientists, philosophers, and men of knowledge. Let's do these last two words. For translation. After seeing this, Lord Brahma hastily got down from his swan carrier, fell down like a golden rod, and touched the lotus feet of Lord Krishna with the tips of the four crowns on his head. Offering his obeisances, he bathed the feet of Krishna with the water of his tears of joy. So he's crying, but he's in bliss because he's superior to him. He's not lamenting, "Oh, I made a mistake, I'm so embarrassed." No. Tears of joy. Purple. Lord Brahma bowed down like a stick. And because Lord Brahma's complexion is golden, he appears to be like a golden stick lying down before Lord Krishna. So when one falls down before a superior just like a stick, when it is offering obeisances, it's called dandavat. That's dandavat. Like a stick full up. Danda means stick and vat means like. It's not that one should simply say dandavat. Rather, one must fall down. Thus Brahma fell down, touching his forehead to the lotus feet of Krishna, and is crying in ecstasy to be regarded as Abhishek, bathing ceremony of Krishna's lotus feet. He's crying tears of ecstasy and washing Krishna's feet. How many people want to do that, huh? Actually, you can't do that. You become Brahmin, become a Pujari, you can go on the altar, Bhagavatam Mahan is there, and you can put your head on his feet every morning. You want to do that? Okay, come to be Brahmins. We need some help anyway. Right? He who appeared before Brahma as a human child was in fact the absolute truth, Param Brahma. The Supreme Lord is Narakati. That is, he resembles a human being. It is not that he is four-armed. Narayana is Chaturbahu. But the Supreme Person resembles a human being. This is also confirmed in the Bible, where they say that man was an image of God. Lord Brahma saw that Krishna, in the form of a coward boy, was Param Brahma, the root cause of everything, but was now appearing as a human child, loitering Vrindavan with a morsel of food in his hand. Astonished, Lord Brahma hastily got down from his swan carrier and let his body fall to the earth. Usually the demigods never touch the ground. So when you see these pictures of demigods, they're always floating. Right? But Lord Brahma voluntarily gave up his prestige as a demigod, bowed down on the ground before Krishna. Although Brahma has one head in each direction, he voluntarily brought all his heads to the ground, all four heads, and touched Krishna's feet with the tips of his four helmets. Although his intelligence works in every direction, he surrendered everything before the boy Krishna. It is mentioned that Brahma washed the feet of Krishna with his tears. And here the word Sujayahi indicates that his tears were purified. As soon as bhakti is present, everything is purified. Sarvapadi vinirmukta. Therefore, Brahma's crying was a form of bhakya anubhava, a transformation of transcendental ecstatic love. Rising and falling again and again at the feet of Lord Krishna for a long time, Lord Brahma remembered over and over the Lord's greatness he had just seen. Purport, as stated in one pair. Let others study the Vedas, Smriti, Mahabharata, fearing material existence, but I shall worship Nanda Maharaj, in whose courtyard is crawling the supreme Brahman. Imagine that. Nanda Maharaj is so great that the Param Brahma is crawling in his yard. Therefore I shall worship him. Brahma was falling down in ecstasy because of the presence of the Supreme Personality, who actually resembles a human child. Brahma was naturally astonished. Therefore, with a faltering voice, he offered prayers, and understanding that here was the Supreme Person. And this is the last verse and purport of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Then rising very gradually and wiping his two eyes, Lord Brahma looked up at Mukunda, the giver of liberation. Lord Brahma, his head bent low, his mind concentrated and his body trembling, very humbly began with faltering words to offer praise to Lord Krishna. Purport. Brahma, being very joyful, began to shed tears, and he washed the lotus feet of Krishna with his tears. Repeatedly, he fell and rose as he recalled the wonderful activities of the Lord. After repeating obeisances for a long time, Brahma stood up and smeared his hands over his eyes. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments that the word lochane indicates that with his two hands he wiped the two eyes on each of his four faces. All four eyes were crying. Seeing the Lord before him, Brahma began to offer prayers with great humility, respect, and attention. Thus ends Bhaktivedanta Purports of the 10th canto, 13th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled, The Stilling of the Boys and Calves of Lord Brahma. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So we all honor Lord Krishna's appearance day, relishing these pastimes, and we will relish them through the mood of the Acharya, Srila Prabhupada. That's how you can taste them. When you're reading his purpose, you see a whole other different flavor of what is Krishna, isn't it? You're getting the highest level of it. So we have to remember and keep that. So we honor that day, and we honor the Vyas Push day. And then the rest of the year, we bring ourselves to offering everything in the service of Srila Prabhupada for the pleasure of Krishna. This is his Krishna consciousness. After Srila Prabhupada departed, his disciples, they took up this task, and beginning with the prayers of Lord Brahma. Well, actually they went to the 11th canto and began there, and then they came back. And 3 devotees completed the Bhagavatam for His Divine Grace, on behalf of His Divine Grace. So, again, we got this Krishna Janmashtami coming. We have Prabhupada's appearance day and Sunday feast. And we're very fortunate, we'll have His Holiness Bhakti True Swami Ki. Yeah. Is he coming? Yeah. Okay, he better come. I'm going to hug him back. And an extra treat. Srila Prabhupada's personal servant, Shikhi Prabhu Ki. He's with Prabhupada day and night, 24 hours a day for 4 or 5 years. So we get to hear from him. And you read Prabhupada's purports, and then Prabhupada himself also exhibit those purports, and you get to put those together. Sometimes you read the books and we get this very hard image of Prabhupada. Further to Krishna, I know you're going there. But actually, it's very soft and tolerant. So we can hear that aspect from him. So we'll stop here. Thank you for listening. All glory is to the Summa Devotee.
So today we have our Sunday feast sponsor, Gora Mukherjee and Lekha Mukherjee, to please come up and perform the arati. Those of you who have children in the Sunday school, you're requested to take your children next door.
Still going on?
Yes, there are still practices going on. And they will be giving out the certificates. Sunday feast because they're seeking the blessings and the prayers of the newly married daughter. They wanted to make sure that they have the blessings and the prayers of all the devotees. Oh, today is also his birthday. So we're going to celebrate his 16th birthday today. First, why don't we pray for the young married couple? What do you guys think? You could raise both your hands together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And now we're going to sing Happy Birthday to Gaura Mukherjee. Since he's only 16, we want to make sure. So ready? His name is Gaura, like Gauranga, short for Gaura. Gaura Mukherjee. Are we ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Gaura Mukherjee. Happy birthday to you. Now you can bless it by lifting both your hands. And if you can tilt it towards his shiny head, so you can get all the blessings. Ready? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you so very much. A few updates. So on the 23rd of this month, which is how many days from today? Really soon. And it's one of the most important days for Gaudiya Vaishnavas, the people who believe in Krishna. Because the celebration of Sri Krishna Janmashtami is taking place. It's the biggest celebration in the entire planetary system. If you didn't know, in Brahma Loka, where Lord Brahma resides, they're celebrating Janmashtami. In the Swarga Lokas, they're celebrating Janmashtami. And Janmashtami is being celebrated all over this entire planet. And we're also celebrating Janmashtami in all the Iskcon temples around the world. So we're looking at approximately 700 temples. They're all celebrating Janmashtami. And here in Atlanta, we'll be celebrating Janmashtami on the 23rd at 4:30 a.m. I think this is the earliest Janmashtami you'll find, which is in all the Iskcon temples. Janmashtami celebration starts at 4:30 a.m. with the Mangala Arati here. And then the celebration will continue on all day till midnight. Midnight is when Krishna was born. So throughout the day there will be aratis being offered, there will be prasadam being served. And in the evening we'll have cultural programs on the stage. There's dramas, musical performances, there's different bands who are performing. There will be a beautiful dress competition. If you have children, you want to dress them up as characters from Krishna's pastimes, and you can bring them for the dress competition. And then we have at 10 o'clock, we're thinking 9:30, 10. We're saying 9:30 that we want to start. But we will still keep taking reservations. So the Abhishek that will start from 9:30 to 11:30. So everyone gets their time to praise Krishna. And then at midnight we'll have a big arati and there will be also a big feast that will be served. So this is the full schedule in a nutshell for Janmashtami. If you want a more detailed schedule, you can look up on the website. Iskcon Atlanta. And then The following day after Janmashtami, we're celebrating the appearance of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki! We're sitting here today because our grandfather here, Srila Prabhupada, he brought Krishna all over the world and he brought him to Atlanta. And it is because of his mercy we're able to celebrate Janmashtami and all the beautiful festivals. So we'll be celebrating Srila Prabhupada's Avirbhav Tithi Mahautsava, which will be the following day. And also the full schedule of Srila Prabhupada's appearance day will also be on our website that you can look at. And then on September the 6th, we're celebrating the appearance of Srimati Radharani. It's the birthday of Srimati Radharani. And we request you to please pencil these 3 important days in your calendar so we can have a big festival all together, chanting and dancing and having lots of prasad. So we have some service opportunities. Most of the services have been taken. So for the dress for the new deities, for the deities, just like on Christmas you buy some new clothes and you give new clothes. So on Krishna's birthday, we get him new dresses. And then on Radharani's birthday, we also get them new dresses. So on Krishna Janmashtami, we give them 2 new sets of clothes. And these clothes are made in Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, there are villagers, Brajavasis, who are very expert in sitting with a little needle and make these beautiful dresses. These are not made with machines, these are handmade by the Brajavasis in Vrindavan. So we'll be getting those dresses made, and we have Kavisha. Is Kavisha here? She's just a beautiful devotee. She takes the effort to come out and sponsor the dresses for all 3 sets of the deities. This shows her love and devotion to their lordships. So let's give her a big Haribol. And then the midnight feast, we have Nedin Hari Prabhu and family, and we have Pavan Sari family. And then that was $2,000, the dresses were $5,000. And then the Janmashtami Prasadam that will be served all throughout the day. No one that will go to a Hare Krishna temple will go empty-handed without Prasadam. This is what Srila Prabhupada wanted. So on Janmashtami day, we are expecting approximately 2,000 pilgrims that will come to offer Arati and honor Prasadam and they will leave. So we're requesting help in the kitchen for cutting up, washing dishes, cooking, and in the temple room we'll need help to assist them with the puja. And for that, the Prasadam was sponsored by Dimple Mataji, Dimple and Parimal Mazumdar. And that was $1,500 times 2. And then midnight Maharati, we have Pratap and family, the front row, Keval Patel and family on the second row, and Krishna Murthy family, Srinivas Karadi and Basmati Govardhan on the third row. There is still spaces available for the midnight Arati. Midnight Arati is when Krishna appears at midnight, we open the curtains, and we have a Maha Arati. That's the main Arati for the day. And there are spaces available for that. And then we have the main theme this year. Every year we have a different theme for the festival. So this year we're having this Swarna Padma, which a golden lotus is being made in Vrindavan. And they're shipped over here. And you'll get to have one of these golden lotuses. And then you can come and bathe Krishna with it. And those lotuses will be offered to the lotus feet of Krishna. And then you can take it home as something that you can remember of attending the Janmashtami and taking Krishna's blessings. So we have ordered 108 of those. It's a very auspicious number. And we are currently at 82. That means 82 families have signed up to participate on the Abhishekam. And for those of you who have not signed up and would like to sign up, it is $351. You will get a box of prasadam, Charanamrita, and your golden lotus after you bathe Krishna. So then we have a few more spaces available, but what happens is, on the day of Janmashtami, if you wait for the last day, then there is no guarantee that you will actually get a spot, because that's all we have, 108 is all we have. So if anyone would like to participate in Abhishekam? Okay. We will now Sham Govinda Prabhu. Let's give him a big Hari Bol. So when someone does something wonderful in the material world, everyone is not very happy. Why is that person getting any recognition and glory? But in the spiritual world, when someone does some service, what do? We do it as loud as possible, because when you glorify someone, their spiritual qualities is something that you automatically get. This is there in the Puranas. This is not from Veda Purana. This is from the original Purana. So that's why you will see when you already do something, when someone does something spiritual, you immediately glorify them, and then you get their spiritual qualities. Sometimes they may be extremely wealthy. When you glorify them, Lakshmi Devi is happy. Oh, okay, we'll shower some on you. So whenever you get a chance to glorify someone, you should always glorify them. Chanakya Pandit said, glorification is free, it doesn't cost you anything. You don't have to take anything out, you don't have to write a check. So whenever you have Sham Govinda Prabhu, anyone that does any seva, what do? As loud as you chant, the better for you. Let's try one more time. That was ecstatic. Anyone else want to do seva? On Janmashtami day. Okay, we will end it right here so that you all can have prasadam. If anyone else would like to participate, please come and see Shadashara Prabhu, or you can come and see me. We'll be walking around. He's sitting outside. And we'll need help in the kitchen. We'll need help with the cleaning. We'll need help with the prasadam serve out. Please come and see one of us, and we'll be able to assist you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Just come and have the darshan.